Stepbrothers gets suspended for fighting, more like stepbrothers graduates early for good behavior. Oh my god, this video from Dhar man sucks. Let me give you the reasons why I hate this video. In my opinion, the video starts when all the kids at school shouting fight while watching Mark and Darren fighting in the hallways until the teacher stops the fight and then tells Mark and Darren to go to the principal's office. In the principal's office, Principal Denvers gets so extremely upset at Mark and Darren because this was the third time they got sent to his office. Then Mark and Darren argued with each other in the office by explaining to Principal Denvers what's been going on with each other, and Principal Denvers doesn't want to hear it, and he just wants them to stop with their fights, and he even tries to make thing up by telling them to shake hands or end up getting suspended for a week. And it turns out they didn't shake hands and ends up getting suspended. At home, Mark's mom and Darren's dad gets upset with them because they got suspended. Mark said that Principal Denvers was being overreacting, and Darren's dad said to Darren that the move wasn't gonna be that easy, and Darren's dad understands that, but he tells Darren that him and his uncle used to fight like cats and dog when they were young, and asked them what he always tells him. Family isn't just about blood, it's about love, and Mark's mom asked what are they gonna do with the both of them, and Darren's dad tells her that the boys are going to do housework and tells them that this suspension isn't going to be a week-long vacation, and has a project for them, and tell them on Sunday their mom is hosting a barbecue for the company, and tells them that the deck needs to be sanded and painted, and the yard needs to be cut, and tells them that they are under house arrest with no computers, no watch time, no phones and no friends. During the montage of the yard work, they started fighting while they're working and they constantly start getting along as they're painting. Just then, Mark's friend Chris comes over while he's being house arrest, and bust him out, leaving Darren all by himself with the yard work. At night, Mark gets home by using his bedroom window, and his parents bust him telling him not to leave the house and helping with Darren. And Mark accuses Darren of snitching on him, and his mom tells him that it's not Darren's fault and telling him that it's his fault for breaking the rules. Darren walks in and explains what's going on, and Mark starts accusing Darren and they both starts fighting again, and Darren's dad tries to go after him. Just then, things were about to get even more bad. Before that, Darren come home and tries to find his dad, his mom, and Mark. But when he looked on his phone very shocked, at the hospital, the doctor explains Mark, Darren and his mom that the father passed away from a massive heart attack, and they start crying very emotional. At the funeral, the guest thanks them for their loss, but when Darren was outside upset, Mark tries to calm Darren down, but they ended fighting again. And one of the funeral guests sees them fighting and runs and tells the mom that their boy are fighting, and the mom and the other funeral guest sees the fight and the mom stops the fight and continue to argue in front of the guests. Later, while Mark and mom were washing the dishes, she tells Mark to go check on Darren, and when he does, he sees that the yard work that Darren did by himself was finished, and tries to see if he was in his room, and we realize that he's at the bus stop. Just then, a suspicious man came up to Darren and tries to take his bag full of money, and Mark admittedly stops the thief from robbing Darren, and the thief asked Mark what's he gonna do about it, and Mark tells him mess around and find out by holding his phone with the numbers 911, and the thief admittedly walks away. After that, Mark admittedly apologized to Darren for accusing him of snitching and leaving him by himself with the yard work, and Darren forgave him and shake hands and went home happily. And the video ends, and that's how the video goes, and that's why I hate this video. I don't know who likes or hates this video, so I'm just gonna leave it be. So, screw stepbrothers gets suspended for fighting, and screw waitress hospitalizes customer, spoiled teen takes advantage of the maid is 400 trillion times better than stepbrothers gets suspended for fighting.